skipped a measure. My bad. I was like,
and then here,
everyone's got half notes.
so for everybody, in measure 4 on beat 3, soprano, tenor, bass, right? Will hold, and then you have to beat through to beat 4 for the resolution in the alto. Okay, so you want to, you'll arrive on 3. If you want to show that with the left hand, you can, but beat 3 to beat 4. Yeah.
So,
Can we? So you'd show the second beat in the fermata in pattern.
Yep.
But can you do it out of time?
Yes.
Kind of like cue, like da, da.
You can, in that case,
Would it come off as confusing?
it can be done. I don't recommend you do it just yet.
Okay. So just do it like in time.
Yeah.
so how do I? So 1, and 2, and 3, and how do I like re-show?
Yeah.
to
So
hold?
you don't really need to. You can show the left hand on beat 3, 3, and then 4. Yeah. So you don't need to use the left hand twice.
Okay, and then it's okay to do complete.
Yep.
Railroad tracks. Okay.
Mhm.
Can I go back to the beginning?
Yeah. In that case, only beat 3 because you're showing a half note.
Oh, okay.
Right. So everybody here in this example, this is where your musical decisions.
I was gonna say I think I want that fourth one to move forward.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So then I would do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that I would go like more up.
Yep. Now, what's really going on in this excerpt? Like, pull back for a second, and if you were listening to this, like in an opera house, what would you be hearing?
This is like
More
Nemo.
consonant.
Nemo egg.
Nemo egg.
Like the very beginning of Nemo, where
Yeah.
he's like holding
Yeah.
a little baby.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Is it a horn solo?
Yeah.
There's a
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm looking for somewhere in the middle of those two things.
It's very obviously phrased.
What's the phrasing?
It's a bar.
Uh-huh. And then what?
So it's
And then another
literally
bar.
4 single bar phrases.
Kind of, right. It's a bar of solo, fairly
It's a
free.
call and response.
A bar of tempo. A bar of solo, fairly free. A bar of tempo, right? Now, it doesn't mean you don't beat in time, right? It's just the first measure is a soloist. And then the next measure, everybody's together, and it's a little bit more strict. And the next bar, soloist. The next bar, a little more. So can you think of it a little more that way? So, like, call, response, cantor, congregation, something like that. you're subdividing, if things just become beating time, then it starts to get very confusing. And then you're asking someone to really keep track of 8 clicks in a bar, as opposed to just keeping track of where you are in this phrase.
And then at the very last measure,
Yep.
to cut off, you're already in. So then,
Yeah, I think in that, in a situation like this, you know, da-dum, and stuff, you don't necessarily have to beat through each beat of that half note, because it's the end of the piece.
okay.
Good, good. Yes.
Can I do the same one?
Great.
Like disassemble myself.
I have a question.
After Angela does this, I'd like someone to do 7 8.
Luis had a question.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I have a question. In measure 4 in Fermata
Yeah.
is in B3. When you just, it's possible just show 1 beat instead to 2 beats.
In the fermata,
Yeah,
then what would
the
the
soprano
altos?
Fermata.
Sorry.
Because we are 1 2 1 2 and then
But what do you do for the
The altos are on mute.
the altos?
we are so here.
But if you only show 1 beat, how do the altos know to move to their G sharp?
Let's say one show you 1 beat, but
I think it means don't subdivide.
I said don't.
Oh,
change the
don't
line.
subdivide. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yes,
it.
yeah. Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Mhm.
Same what?
Yeah, just connect measure 2 for me. With them. Oh, sorry. Yeah, in a case like that, don't give more beats than there are. Like, don't give a beat where somebody isn't moving. Okay, so the last note here is on beat 4. So in that case, you don't need to give and.
Okay.
That looks confusing. It looks like something should be happening, or maybe it's cut off. 3 and 4. Right.
Okay.
Yep.
This that measure again?
Yeah. it's the same idea, just a slightly different context too.
I'll go again.
Volunteers, I'll pull from the deck. Ethan.
I had a feeling. This is in 6, correct? That it's a really slow 3.
Well, it's on Dante. I'm going to. So, no.
Straight 3.
Oh, I had a question about the grace note on the fermata.
Yeah.
Can I? Is that like a quarter note grace note or like an eighth note grace note?
Well, that's up to you.
Okay.
I have something written down. It's a show from on, then on two, then back up and show two again. Get prep for the next one.
Sorry, what number is?
7, 8, right? That's what you want. Oh, that was really bad. Sorry. I have to get your hands in the right spots.
So wait a minute. Think about this tempo. What does andante con moto? What does that mean?
I don't know my tempo marking very well.
Well, what does andante mean?
Slow.
No. does not.
Walking. It's walking, so it'd be like
Walk,
6
right.
feet.
But it is a slow walk, right?
Yeah.
Andante with motion. Okay, but I mean that's a little like that's like you're rushing through the street.
Okay.
Okay, so find that. What would like just a slow-ish walk with some motion? What would that look like?
Like in a beat pattern?
No, just think about the tempo. Just make a decision. And then yeah, okay. So let's look at that fermata. The
Yeah.
two fermatas. What decisions do you have to make?
Well, first off, 2 of the voices have different notes in the fermatas than the other ones.
Right.
And so only the upper 2 voices need cues for the second fermata.
Right.
And the second fermata has a grace note in it.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do when I was practicing was kind of like 1, da-da.
Yep. You can do that. Don't lean out to them.
Okay.
And if you're going to do that, then you're going to have to decide, does the alto move with the grace note? Or does the alto move on the primary note?
It would move with the primary note.
Okay, yeah. So then you're going to have to show that in a way, down.
So like da, da.
Yeah, think of it more like, so let's take the grace note out of the equation for right now. What would it look like? Right, and the grace note, that E flat, that's just a pickup into that. Right, yeah, so that little click at the tip of the baton, do that in that exact, just like that, in
Okay.
that pattern.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Beginning?
From the beginning, yes, please. That was bad prep.
It was a double prep.
It was, yeah. Sorry.
Right, yeah. Good. Everybody, I want to show you a couple different options on how you can do this. So let's do the bar before those fermatas. 1, 2, 3. Starting at the third full bar. Third full measure. Okay, so that's the cut prep version. Okay, let's do it again. And that's the caesura version, right? I suppose you could do one without a cutoff at all. That might look like this. Let's try that. Right? So if you do either the no cutoff or the full caesura, right, you have to put yourself in a position where you can re-articulate beat 2, okay? Because you have 1, 2, da 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 isn't enough time, right? So 1, 2, and then you have to kind of back up. 2, da 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 da. If you do a cut prep, that's not necessary because the cutoff becomes beat 2, right? 1, 2, da 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 da. Okay. Does that make sense? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're already on 2, then that da da isn't quite enough time. So you have to sort of back up in the pattern. There are a few instances where this kind of thing happens, right? So if you have like a fermata and a pickup note within the same beat, you'll probably have to back up during the fermata,
For either, or is that just for the?
just for the pickup, like to show the
No,
prep.
but is that for the cut prep one?
No, in the cut prep one, then the cutoff serves as showing beat 2. You know what I mean? You're still kind of showing beat 2 twice, but in the cut prep version, 1, 2, da, you're showing 2 beats anyway. There you go. Does it make sense? I want to make sure that's clear.
Would you say is more acceptable?
I don't actually know this entire piece, so I don't know how to put it into context. I'm not sure. For the purposes of this class, whatever works.
Can we try both of those options as a class?
Sure. Yeah. Like,
Just sitting here?
yeah, sure. Huh?
Here?
Yep. Let's do the cutoff version. The cutoff version. Okay. So we'll start right on the fermata. So here's first fermata, second fermata. Now cut off with a clear stop, and then back up, and now 2. Ba 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 ba. Does that make sense? Do it one more time. So here's fermata and fermata, cut off, The dangerous moment in this is after that cutoff, that first motion, there has to be 0 click on that. Because if there's a click, if it's somebody will play. Off. Ba, ba,
It's
ba,
like
ba.
a deadbeat reset.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep.
Could you do a deadbeat there? Like,
You kind of are doing a deadbeat there.
okay.
If you do you mean like showing another click?
Click.
Sure, that would work. Yeah, that's basically the same thing.
Okay.
That 200 IQ click.
I'm second guessing that now. Here's my worry, right? Having somebody see that as an impulse to play. I think doing this.
Like
It's
a slow
safer.
motion to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's safer. Okay, let's do the cut prep version. Okay, so here we have Fermata and Fermata. Ba ba bum bum. Mm-hmm.
That feels so much better.
Yeah, honestly, that's the safer one. It might not be the best musical decision, but it's the safer one. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll admit when I'm like, if I'm in a situation where I'm reading something with an ensemble that maybe maybe we had 0 rehearsals, or maybe something's been thrown on our stands last minute, I will often use the cut prep as a solution to this kind of thing, because if you can do them cleanly, they're often safer, right? Because like Fermata, nobody's gonna play right there, right? There's nobody who can introduce, like there's no way you can elicit a note on that spot if you're being clear. Yeah. Like I said, it's not always the best musical solution, but yeah.
This is probably gonna sound a little silly, but how do you turn your hand over for a fermata without looking goofy? Because I feel like most of us kind of look goofy because we don't really know. Like,
Yeah, we're like,
Sure.
fermata.
I often do look goofy doing it, so I don't have a great answer for you. To go from if it's like part of the motion, like fermatas do have a certain amount of hang on to it, right? Or I'm inviting you to hold. So if you can make it part of the pattern, that is a little bit smoother usually. 1 and 2 and 3. On a 3 pattern, it's easier, or beat 3, it's easier because you're kind of moving this way anyway. And 2 and 3 and 3 and 4. Yeah, there's not.
That's why.
I mean, you'll often notice that like the if you go on YouTube and watch like professional orchestras, this is not a gesture most conductors use. It's utilitarian, but it doesn't look great. Choral conductors use it more often, but not in fermatas. This gesture is what like a lot of choral conductors will use to show like support, sticking through the line, dark sound, whatever.
You do that too for
I
like
do.
Rich.
Yep.
So,
And I got it from my teacher who was a choral conductor. Yeah, in fact, his name is Joe Miller. Do you know that name at all? He's very like, if you watch him, he's like this kind of all the time. It's really effective. He gets a great sound from the choir. Sometimes even that's a little overdone. You know?
Is that also a
Dr.
thing-
Miller's going to email me.
Is that also a thing of choir people having an expectation of what to see in terms of gestures? So they react better to it because that's something they
Right,
see
right.
all the time?
Yeah, that's a question I never know how to answer. If like, what is expectation versus what works well on the instrument? I'm never really sure how to answer that question.
I have a question of people who are in symphony.
Yeah.
Was it different being conducted by Mr. Arnold?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or for the choral people.
Yeah.
It's different between the 2 of us.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Well, I'll say it was different, but
It wasn't
we
hard.
already knew how to play it after having been conducted by you. So maybe it would have been different had we been like sight
Rehearsal?
reading or rehearsing with him. But it wasn't different enough that you couldn't follow it.
Sure.
The only thing was like, it's just that like a typical string player to anyone else thing that it's not gonna speak as soon or whatever. Like just knowing when in the pattern to come in, because like, I don't know, like we ease into it more instead of just like, you're either playing or you're not.
How about from your guys' perspective? How are we different?
I would say, I mean, I liked working with Mr. Arnold for that because we were used to seeing it, you know? And I think if it would have been with you, because like we've worked with you enough times
Right.
now that like I know how you're gonna give, you know. And I think it's a little more, like I want to say you conduct a little more clear, but that's not what I mean.
No, I know what you mean.
Like-
They were also very different pieces.
Yeah.
Right, so I think if we were to switch, we probably would look like more like the other person.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it would have been way harder to follow Arnold for the Beethoven, I think.
Well,
Then-
assuming he conducted the way he conducted the Holst. Right.
Yeah, because like for at least the way he did the Holst and like with the part we had, it was like so.
I would even say, if I conducted the Holst the way I conducted the Beethoven, that would also be hard to follow.
Oh yeah.
Because you'd be singing like legato stuff while I'd be showing this, and that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Also, he was really good at cueing, like and including
Yep.
the orchestra and knowing their cues. And
Yeah, he
this
knew
is
so
gonna
well.
sound like really weird, and but after gala, Mr. Arnold met like me and my boyfriend, and we were leaving, and I was like, I'm really gonna miss him. He has such a like welcoming, friendly face. Like it's literally like he would look at you and be like, and like you were just like, I want to play for you. Like his face was just so nice, and like seriously, like I don't know how he does it, but like he just has like